Everyone, coming to you live from the Tempe Chipotle Strava segment. It's just past 6 p.m. here on Tuesday. So we technically have 78 hours remaining in this 2025 challenge around the country, actually around the world. It's now a global competition, but our segment here in Tempe will end at 11:59 p.m. Friday night. So I guess first off, if you were in the Phoenix area Friday night, I'm envisioning it's going to be a party, like a street party, a block party. So maybe come out, get laps in, see if we can pass more cities. It's an open invite. I have this big vision dream that they're going to close the street down for us and have like Strava, Chipotle banners everywhere and traffic control, but maybe next year. So yeah, I'm gonna drop in here maybe for about 30 minutes. Happy to answer any of your questions, do some Q&A. People are asking about my ankle. So I did get some work done on it, some ART, active release therapy, I think it's called. So I had someone come out. He got called in. I just sat in his Jeep, back of his Jeep, seats folded down, and he was doing a lot of stretches with my ankle, working on it. And then he had a tool, he was scraping it. So it definitely has not been any sort of instant magical fix. It still is quite painful, but we're trying to manage it the best we can. Yeah, it's not unexpected to get some minor injuries throughout something like this. I've had a lot of different pains. This one seems to be the most concerning so far. Um, but yeah, like he was working on it and didn't see anything overly concerning, but he said that there's probably some compartment syndrome going on. I probably need to look that up a little bit more. Um, but I've been able to continue to hike. I'm limping a little bit, but trying to save face the best I can out here. So yeah, is there going to be a last 24-hour ditch effort? I don't know. I mean, maybe. Seems like at some point we'll probably be out here a good amount of the last day. Haven't uploaded another 30 miles today. So yeah, he kind of has a crew out here now. Sean, who is, I believe, also from Pacific Northwest, drove down here. He's done some content for Mountain Outpost this year or last year as well. He's putting out some cool stuff. We'll probably be putting out a lot more stuff in the next few days. But he's also kind of crewing for Kevin. And he told me that Kevin's stopping at 30 today. I would imagine to get some recovery. He's had some huge days. He pulled another 47 yesterday, whereas I stopped at 30. So I was kind of hoping we would both get back down into the 30-mile range starting Monday. Um, and that's what I did yesterday. And yeah, he went for 47. So um, yeah, I think, yeah, for me today, I've been a little bit slower than him and off course for a while today as well again. So I'm hoping I can get to 30, maybe squeak out a little bit more than that and close the gap. He had a 30 segment lead on me this morning that he opened up yesterday. So maybe I can get a few of those back before I call it a night as well. But yeah, just past 6 p.m. So I feel like I have a little bit of time, but I also feel like I probably need some rest too. KT tape. Actually was taped up as well. So he did give me a piece of tape, rock tape actually on there. So um what's my mileage for the whole challenge? I think I'm at 510 miles for the month of January. which primarily has been on the segment. So, I might have done 10 miles, 5 or 10 miles outside the segment this month. Is Kevin watching the live streams? Potentially. I think right before I got my gimbal to start this, he was in his van still in Chipotle parking lot. Kind of, he maybe just maybe eating a burrito. I don't know. Oh, Kevin says he hasn't watched any till now. He's actually in the chat, so you can also we got right there. He said he's watching the vlog. That's so funny. Um, so yeah, I guess if you have questions for Kevin, like you guys can do the Q&A in the chat for Kevin, and then I can just answer them myself on the video. Kevin says it's not in segment, he might as well watch. That's awesome. This is cool. So I guess I'll read responses if people are asking Kevin, why Tempe? Well, I mean, I could probably help answer that, but Kevin was in Arizona. Well, his big goal for the year is Cocodona 250. And so he wanted to get some multi-day and night running in. So he signed up for the ATY 72 hour. Coming from a through hiking background, he wanted to get used to running more and getting some running through the night experience. And then he saw that this was going on. It's been a lively day on the segment, though. There's quite a number of local runners out here. We had, so sorry, I forget his name, but he was doing a ruck event this weekend, like a last person standing while wearing a 30-pound pack. And he came out here in his cane recovery shoes and walked untold numbers of laps out here. Are we going to bust out 100-mile day? Well, considering 100 miles in 2 days just about broke me, or basically did break me, I don't know if that's in the cards for me this time around. But there's certainly anticipation building. Always turn left. Yeah, that's a good question. It'd be funny for someone to count up. You turn left, you turn right each time. Jem Rooney says he wants to travel from Australia next year to do this. How are the knees? You know what? My knees actually feel great. I had no issues with my knees, thankfully. But it's been kind of this shin ankle thing. Had some hip pain, some quad soreness. I forget what else. A lot of issues. Mentioned earlier in the challenge that you see a path for some events of this format. I mean, honestly, a lot of my mental energy each day is expended being out here. We've got some ideas kicking around about doing an Aravaipa version of this. Although, with how unhinged this has gotten, I'm maybe rethinking if this is a good idea, because it's easy to run yourself into the ground and get carried away, as we feels like we have. But yeah, I think like a multi-city segment challenge could be really cool to bring the community together. What I think I've loved most about this challenge is because it is on this short 2 block segment of the city, people come out, we see a lot of the same runners every day, and it kind of does feel like a small town in a big city. It's like Main Street. This is our Main Street version. And it's like, oh, here's Mike tonight, or Vicky, or whoever keeps coming out. It's really cool. Where did the name Aravaipa come from? We from Aravaipa Canyon, which is a really cool place here. Am I in danger of blowing my Hard Rock Western States double by running so much this early? I mean, maybe, but like this has just been so much fun. I've been so motivated that like at this point, honestly, I don't care. Like if I don't know, if I blew my chances there, I don't think I'd change a thing because this has been so much fun. I hope it doesn't. I hope I come out of this okay. But like when I got in via the lotteries, I didn't start training. But when I saw this, I started training like a maniac. Let's see. Is it considered doping to get a ride from one segment to the other? I think it would be. Yeah, like for me, it's a little bit against the spirit of it. Like, and it would be, I think, a pain. You logistically could figure it out. I'm sure you'd probably have to involve more people, but 200 is the new 100. Strava crowns are the new 200s. Have any businesses come out to say hi or ask what we're doing? There's been a couple. Maybe Kevin can speak to it in the chat. I know that the one of the women from there's like a health center, urgent care, maybe even a birthing center up here. She did come out one day getting coffee and ask me what was going on. People from the bank, I think, might have talked to Kevin at one point. Just we're basically running right outside their window all day, all night long. Sometimes I appreciate the red lights. You can actually stop and excuse for a little break. Tattoo shop. There's a lot of talk about the tattoo shop. Um, just the corner. Yeah, we just yeah. You out here doing it? Yeah, just figure you're so close to getting. Heck yeah, do it for the cause. That's awesome. What's your name? Corey Jamel. Nice to meet you. All righty. Good luck. Oh, I'm on a live stream right now. Kevin out tonight. I believe I mean, he's currently off course. He uploaded his run for the day. Since the point to point segment, do you have to physically get back to the start line? Uh, yeah, like I think this is one of the number one question that keeps popping up is can you get like a mechanical aid to get back to the start line? Kind of reminds me of those climbing challenges where you hike up the mountain and then you can ride the ski lift down to the bottom and then climb again. Just the logistics seem a little challenging. I'm sure it could be figured out, but yeah, it seems a little bit against the spirit of the competition. Like I think main reason I'm doing this is to compete against others. And I don't know if it would be good for the challenge ultimately if like there was just a parade of cars doing a loop where you run, hop in a car, and the cars are lined up everywhere. Like I think it would get out of hand pretty quick. So probably a loophole they'll close. I think if they made it a loop, that could probably alleviate that temptation. And then the other major question is like, yeah, like keeping your segments hidden or something, and then doing a mass upload on the last day. And that also, like it is an interesting format in that the timing is all based upon your upload. You kind of don't, you may not fully know where everyone's at until they upload for the day. So there's this element of suspense, but I think that'd be tough. Like, obviously, it would be an advantage to the person doing it, but to the person on the receiving end, it would kind of suck. It would kind of throw everything off, I think. So let's see. This is Trevor. Strava double counted some of my segments from my last run. Yeah, I did notice that, Trevor. I mean, will we go until midnight Friday or no? I mean, I fully plan to be out here till midnight. To me, it seems like, whoever comes out on top, that's that's the end of the event. It's like a fixed time event. You want to be there at the finish line to celebrate with everyone. So I would hope a lot of people would come out Friday night and just maybe at the last hour show up, run some laps or walk. Will probably be reduced to a walk or a crawl by then, but walk some laps. It would be fun to have a little celebration at midnight. Maybe Mill Avenue is right here. Maybe we can grab a drink. I don't know if that's your thing. Um, yeah, plenty of time to brainstorm until then. How long does an edit of the vlog take? It's probably 2 hours. I've gotten it down to about 2 to 2.5, including uploading to YouTube, thumbnail, all that stuff. I haven't seen Versteeg yet, but funny story. That is how Kevin got into the sport a little bit. Is he was through hiking and he met Michael Versteeg near Silverton, Colorado. It's a pretty awesome gateway into the sport. For sure, running till midnight on the last day, 100%. Oh yeah, yeah, I got to be out here, even if even if I'm broken, sitting on a chair, cheering on Kevin and everyone else. Like I will be out here. Michael Versteeg is my life coach. How come Nick didn't do the challenge? Um, I think he was in Colorado for the last week and a half. You dream about the segment. Early in the challenge, all I could think about was being out on segment. And now I'm just always out on segment. And a little of that allure has worn off, but it's still enjoyable. And I actually do really enjoy the evenings out here. I wasn't out here last night and I saw some of the footage and I was missing it. A little bit homesick for it. But we've got another. I mean, it's just also, I think Arizona is probably one of the best places to do this challenge. I've seen some of the other cities have snow and freezing conditions. It's rather pleasant out here, nice and sunny and warm in the day. We haven't had any precipitation, so overall rather pleasant. Ryan, there's some stuff about Ryan Lay. Ryan Lay did a shoot with Satisfied before. So I did meet Ryan Lay at Cocodona, I think in 2022. He was pacing and crewing Joe McConaughey. And I ran with him and Joe in Sedona for several miles and we were chatting it up. Got runner Corey out there. Shout out to him. He's trying to help the Tempe segment. And for any of you, we are in a city competition. So there is a city challenge. I want to mention that again. And the winning city gets buy one, get one free Chipotle at their local Chipotle. Right now, San Francisco has a huge lead. Tempe has been closing the gap. but we would need a lot more runners to come out, take part, do some big miles these next few days if we have a shot. But I think we have a good chance at moving into second soon. Any close calls with cars? Um, no, not really yet. For me, um, yeah, there's been a lot of loud cars. It's kind of annoying. Have you ever turned around and it not counted? No, I don't think I've had that issue. I guess it's possible I could have lost one. It's easy to lose track. Has anyone at Chipotle corporate contacted you? So yeah, I had I think two connections. One, we reached out to them. Someone from Aravaipa did, and they actually were able to hook us up with the free parking. And then Chipotle on Instagram this morning reached out to me wanting to share some of my content. I haven't seen it shared yet, but they did give me a free entree. So I got a bowl last night for dinner. That was my first Chipotle this month. Any other cities having epic battles? So one interesting note that I thought was cool, Cody Clark in New York has been the far and away overall leader nationwide for most of the entire month. He's running like 30-mile days almost from the beginning. And I finally surpassed him yesterday, and then Kevin surpassed him today. So right now, Tempe is now has like the highest amount of segments between myself and Kevin. So it's pretty cool. And I think Portland is actually fairly competitive right now. Luke Vaughn, I believe, has that one right now, but there's a few guys that are close and they're all kind of battling. So that's one to watch. A lot of the other cities are like DC, for instance, Blake, who was in the big epic battle last year, who got second. He's got that one in the bag already. There's no one anywhere near close to him. So kind of takes away some of the maybe inspiration to keep going. But yeah, there's probably a lot more storylines. It's just hard to keep up with it all. And it's a little hard to just, yeah, know who's on top. Um, do I think I will miss the segment after the challenge? I don't know yet. Maybe I'll just have to come down here some days, do some laps. I guess the local legend doesn't have to end. It's not like the segment goes away. So I could just keep pouring it on. That would be, I'd rather be quiet. It's not an interesting thing for next year. If we lose, will you ever eat Chipotle again? I will boycott it if I lose. Don't let Kevin get away with it. Did I ever get my coat returned to me? No. Although Brandon, I believe, was out here today. He actually he tied my fastest split because I had the fastest segment at 108. He tied with me today. He said he saw the guy take my bag. He just didn't know it was my bag at the time. He later watched the video and then determined that it was my bag. But yeah, my shirt is long gone. Do I think 30 days is optimal for this format? 30 days is really long if you're competitive here. I'll say that. I guess I'm glad it's not longer. Like, it seems like a good amount. Leah, are you inspired to put on a similar event through Aravaipa? Yeah, I definitely am. I think I would like to. I think yeah, we would do something like win a year's worth of free races with Aravaipa. We could maybe have several different cities involved, where each city could have a certain amount of race credits, and then could be like a grand champion for the person with the most segments across the country, and we could pick similar segments in each town. But there is definitely some logistics involved. Like, I think there's some of these segments. It wasn't like they came out here and did a 4-hour run on it and thought to themselves that, or just thought that people might do that, and then start to think about, well, where are you going to go to the bathroom? Where are you going to park? We're going to do all the things that you have to do for a long run or for a race condition. So it'd be hard to find all those things, I think. Nice. Do you ever change your shoes? I have a few times. Like, even today, I was testing out some different shoes to see if it would help my issue going on. I was in the Hoka Cliftons most of the day, which was working for a while, but until it wasn't. And then now I'm back in my Mount to Coast, which seems to be working a bit better right now. I have, I honestly have like 7 different brands of shoes in the back of my car. I don't know. I'm still searching for that perfect shoe, maybe. Why did I choose this segment? This is the only one that's officially part of the challenge to compete on to win the year's worth of Chipotle. So, yeah, this is what I don't know if it was Chipotle corporate or Strava corporate who picked them or why they picked them. Maybe they thought it would be good to be close to ASU because Arizona State University is literally right here. It's the closest Chipotle to the campus. But it's definitely not boring. Like, it's super interesting. Yeah, we've been having a lot of discussions around, why is this become so captivating of an event? And I've had a few thoughts about that. One, it really reminds me of the golden era of pedestrianism in the 1800s, when they would pack out Madison Square Garden and people would pay money to go spectate guys like us competing at 6 days of racing, of running and walking, which sounds bizarre, but here we all are watching a couple guys walk and run each day. And that same level of captivation, like, there's some human element to it that I think we're drawn to. And this event has somehow captured the spirit of that pedestrianism era, like no other event that I have seen in the ultra running space do quite perfectly. Yeah, those folks also got poisoned. But what's happened to me out here is so far, I've been robbed, I've been towed. Who knows what's going to happen the next few days? It's like we're in this 2 block arena, but it's like in the real world with real variables that are happening, like these externalities. Just like in the pedestrianism era, there's shenanigans going on, there's things happening, people are affecting the competition, and the same things could be happening out here. And I think that makes it more entertaining, that like you never know what's going to happen, you never know what sort of thing's going to pop up next. Oh, all these lights are off. That's weird. I haven't clicked on yet. Video editing has been good. Thank you. I worked a lot on the format. It's trying to make it fun, like gamification. The end is Friday night. Yes. Am I making more YouTube videos this year? I would like to. I think this lended itself well to a series. I would definitely want to have a reason for making the videos. I think I've fallen into the trap of just making a video to make a video, and I don't think that's very compelling. So I want to have a reason to make a video or a series. So I'll have to see like how this series ends and come up with some ideas. Reminds you of the old challenges. Yeah, the old challenges we used to do. This is definitely right up that alley. Is there an online webcam that you can see the segment? I was searching for that. I couldn't find it. If you can see it, let me know. That would be kind of fun, but it's also kind of fun to not know. Yeah, I didn't actually get mugged. Sorry. I don't want to make it seem like it's a super dangerous area. Someone just took my bag of water and nutrition and dumped it in a trash can, and then they took my long sleeve shirt. So it's nothing serious. I'm definitely embellishing it a little bit. Did Mount to Coast send you those H1s early? Yes. They are like a prototype pair that I'm providing some feedback for them on. So I guess it's a pretty good test. Dealing with a stubborn hamstring issue. Sorry to hear that. We need run flat, stay low merch to return, limited run. Love it. It's a great idea. Nonstop streaming and running until you hit 100K subs. That's a good idea. I will run until I hit 100,000 subscribers. Challenge. That's what's coming next. How many days, how many weeks would that take? Or years? It'd take years, I'm sure. Can Skylar come down for the last day? I don't know. I mean, Tempe was his old stomping grounds. It's where we met. Be great to have him out here. After you win, what will be on your first burrito? It's a great question. I mean, let's see. Well, last night I got white rice, pinto beans, sofritas, veggies, pico, corn, and guacamole. So I'd probably get something like that. What have I learned so far from the challenge? Well, I mean, I learned that I can certainly handle a lot more miles than I thought I could. I've also learned a little bit about my breaking points. I've learned, yeah, definitely some mental toughness, I think, to just have to go back and forth on this. It's like changed my perspective. It's rewired my perspective on training a bit. And it's funny because early in the challenge, or before I started this, it's like, yeah, 20, 30 miles seemed like a really long way. And now it feels like not even enough, like in inadequacy. It's kind of weird. Probably not good to do this forever, but maybe in short spurts, it's okay. We plan to do anything with Aravaipa, the Strava segment. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit before, but we're gonna we're gonna entertain the idea. I think it could be fun to do for a month and do a challenge around different areas, get people out there and maybe help build some community. If I notice small black cameras with solar panels above them, maybe we are being watched. It's possible. Training to do a 12-hour track run. How do you stay entertained? I mean, I've been listening to a ton of podcasts, um, listening to a lot of music, live sets, things like that. Try and help entertain me. Or and like I do a lot of work calls while I'm out here too. Podcast recommendations. I mean, in the running space, what have I been listening? I listen to Single Track Podcast a lot. I was just before this listening to the Long Run Archives with David Roche, that Finn and Brett put out. Um, I mean, business wise, probably listen to like catch the All In podcast sometimes. And then for whatever reason, like really like love listening to this live set from Marshmello that's on YouTube. I think from several years back from some Miami set he did, but it's 90 minutes and it's kind of nostalgic for me. I listen to it when I want to get pumped up. And yeah, this month I've run a lot of great miles on this segment listening to that set list on YouTube. Oh, Trending History podcast. Ooh, that's a good one. I started listening to some episodes of the Free Outside podcast, Jeff Garmeyer, including, if you haven't caught it yet, Nick Fowler, his recap of the Arizona Trail. FKT is a must listen, like required. That effort is absolutely nutty. And I think I didn't even really understand it till I listened to that podcast, like how insane of an experience that was for him. Just like his level of, I don't know, commitment to that and his style is something that blew my mind. Like he's eating like 600 calories an hour and losing weight. He's sleeping out in the rain and snow. His whole quilt and tent gets wet for his shelter. And then he just has to deal with that for days and days. He had chafing so bad, he was like not wearing shorts for a while, just out in the woods doing 70-mile days. It's super interesting. Total distance for the year. Going into today, I was at 510 miles so far this month, which is probably one of my highest ever. It's got to be my highest ever. Yeah, 510 with still potentially biggest days ahead of us, or some rather big days still ahead of us. No cars or scooters. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. I'm probably going to end somewhat soon. Oh God, how many miles did I run in all of 2024? Okay, so no joke, it's probably between 8 and 900 in all of 2024. And I might get, I don't even know what I might get to this month. Definitely over 600. So I worry that aren't capturing every attempt on the segment. No, I think we've got pretty good bump stops on each end, and my watch seems to be quite accurate that I don't seem to have lost any segments, thankfully. Board game collaboration. Kevin does have some board games which I haven't played yet, but I'm looking forward to getting once this is over and sitting down and playing. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe he could create a Cocodona board game. Just throwing it out there. Or I guess just an ultra running board game. There probably would be a solid audience for that. Did I know Kevin before this? No, I did not. But he was out at across the years. I was just sick the whole time, so I couldn't be out there this year. Have you guys completed the most segments out of any city? I believe Kevin is the overall leader of the entire nation in terms of segments collected as of right now. What costs more, the 52 entrees or nutrition? I mean, I don't think we're doing this for the free burritos. I think there's a lot deeper of a reason to be out here. What were the board games that Kevin invented? I know, I believe Calico is one of his most well known. I believe it's about cats and quilts. And then he was also involved in one called Cascadia. He didn't design the whole game, but he was involved in the team. Aaron Coe, I think that's the Aaron Coe from Portland segment. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to keep tabs on some of the other videos or some of the other regions. Cascadia, there's a lot of people in the chat talking about Cascadia. That's a great game. Oh, by the way, I have left the segment because I'm going to end the live soon. I'm going to put the gimbal back in the car and take a quick restroom break. Definitely staying hydrated out here. All right, Aaron Coe, shout out. He's on the Portland grind, about to get some segments in. Love it. It's been fun following. There's some legends around the country doing this. It's great to see. It'd be great if we could further all connect at some point. Yeah, an overall national winner could be cool. Max, the King of Moab. Yeah, I'll definitely watch that. All right. I can confirm that Kevin's van is officially gone now from the parking lot. And see, there is proof. There is a Chipotle. It's right here. That's what it's all about, isn't it? It's all about the Chipotle. Podcast interviews with other cities. Yeah, like I think there's a lot of ideas brewing. If we can get into like the Chipotle boardroom, I think we could really revolutionize this thing for them next year. Could be a lot of fun. Ooh, $1,000 to do one in Huntersville, North Carolina. I'm telling you, like the cool thing is these literally could be done anywhere, and people could probably find some really cool locations. Like I'm thinking instead of an out and back two, you could potentially have like a little neighborhood loop. I think could be kind of fun. We're thinking about doing one in downtown Phoenix around where we have Freak Brothers Pizza, our pizza restaurant. Maybe you could win like a year's worth of free pizza and Aravaipa entries, and we could do a loop where you wouldn't have to cross any streetlights. I think that could be a pretty fun one. Maybe a one-off type event. So, man, thank you. There's like over 400 of you in here. This is so awesome. Really appreciate the support. I'm sure Kevin does as well, and all the other runners that are out here. But I'm going to end this because I've got a few more miles to do here. Yeah, there's some people just hopping in. I'm sorry, I'm about to end it. Q&A when this is over for sure. Um, a lot of great ideas. We'll keep the conversation going. I'm gonna do more lives. For sure one a day. Maybe more as we get closer, but yeah, stay tuned. Definitely follow both of us on Instagram, follow us on Strava, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more episodes, and see you guys later. Thanks so much.